Hey Jay, thank you so much for joining my weekly real estate chronicles update. I'm giving everybody an opportunity to come on in so that we can socialize a little bit. We're already at almost 5 minutes, so I need you guys to come on in, tell your friends, tell your neighbor, tell your coworker, tell your church member. Everybody's talking about this wild, wild west of a real estate market. So I know that you all have some questions, you have some concerns. So that is exactly why I'm here, to answer your questions, to dispel the myths, to listen to your concerns to see how I can assist. So I'll give a brief introduction for those of you who do not know me. I am Trish Myrick. I am a realtor with Keller Williams Realty Buckhead. I am going into year 13 on next month. Yay! We're going to have a party, y'all. I'm going into year 13 next month of being in the real estate business. There's absolutely nothing else I would rather be doing than assisting you guys with the real estate market, with questions, assisting my buyers, my sellers, my investors, building those portfolios. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys for just sending me business. Those of you who send me referrals, thank you. My past clients, thank you. My future clients, thank you. My prospective clients, thank you. We do have work, even if you start with me and, we have some things going on. We work through them. I have clients who had to work for a year before we could get the opportunity to purchase a home. So just understand that I'm here every step of the way. I am a full service realtor, which means I am your real estate resource. So if you have any questions, you need a vendor, anything like that, I am your go-to girl for real estate. So let's get ready to share my screen, y'all, so we can go through the announcements. Hi, Wealthy Firefighter on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining my weekly real estate update. I appreciate you so much. So this is my newsletter that goes out every Monday. If you do not have this newsletter, if you would like this newsletter, send me a private message with your email address on it, and I will add you to my mailing list. So first things first, we are going to talk about the numbers. Every week I send out the stats for the week, and I do this because this keeps you in the know. It keeps you in the market with knowing what's going on, how many properties are hitting and this is for the Atlanta market, everybody. This is for the Atlanta market. So these are market stats for the ATL market. And I'm typing this in the chat as well. For those of you who watch the replay and you want to follow along. So this week we had 171 new listings hit the market. 171. We had 274 new contracts that were written, and we had 102 closings. Thank you so much, Facebook. Say hello in the chat for me, please. We had 102 new closings. So you know what we do, we always compare. So that was this week. This was last week. So last week we had 170 new listings to hit the market, y'all. 170. And so we had slightly more contracts this week than last week. We had 241 contracts for last week. And last week we had 101 closings. So this week it was 102. And so we're pretty much in alignment, and the numbers are consistent every week. So there are new homes. I know people keep saying, oh, there aren't any new homes that's coming on the market. There are new homes that are coming on the market, y'all. Don't let anybody tell you that. You just got to be very quick when it comes to putting in your offer, because they go quickly. You already see it's almost doubled new contracts as the new listings that came on the market. So when I look at this data, pretty much all the listings that came on the market got a contract, y'all. So that means buyers, you have to move very quickly, because sellers are getting offers within the coming soon period, during the coming soon period. And I know some of you guys see this. During the coming soon period, the house cannot be shown. But last week, I saw a home that came on the market as a coming soon. Y'all, it had 112 offers, and it had not even hit the market yet. It had 112 offers, and it had not hit the market yet. Crazy, the wild freaking west of real estate. So, we try to compare those numbers to keep you in the know. So for those of you who are thinking about jumping into the real estate market, there you have it. There are listings coming on the market. And guess what else I have been seeing, y'all? So in addition to listings that are coming on the market, guess what? There are listings that are coming back on the market. So we have new listings. So when I say new listings, let me give a little brief explanation. So when I say new listings, that means that these listings have never ever hit the market before. These are brand spanking new listings that have hit the market. When I say back on the market, that means that these homes were on the market before. They went under contract. Something happened. We don't know. We have to kind of read the notes and talk to the listing agent to determine what happened. And then they come back on the market. So I have been seeing some homes that have come back on the market, y'all. So there's opportunity everywhere, buyers. You just have to seize it. We have different resources available. I know for Trish Sales ATL, we have backup resources for you guys to assist you with getting under contract. So take advantage of those additional resources that are there to assist you get the home that you desire. Now, if you don't listen to what we are saying, because we are the professionals, we are the experts in this area. So if you don't listen to our professional advice and you're not successful with, getting your home, if you're not successful with purchasing a home after we've given you our professional advice, then, we're going to have to take accountability for that. We're all adults. We're all, adults, we're grown, and we all have a mind of our own. But once you have been given, those additional resources to assist you in this market and you need a home, it would be advantageous for you to listen to your real estate professional. We don't take classes, stay up hours and hours, and all the things that we do to give you guys bad advice. I realize that it's a few bad apples out there, none of which I know, but, from what I can gather. But, there are agents out here that they're working for you. They want the best outcome for you, and they want to represent you in this real estate transaction and want to help you meet your goal. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll go past the market updates. And so I put on the newsletter the weekly update for last week. So if you want to take a look at it and go back and see what we talked about last week, you're more than welcome to. We are on YouTube, guys. Let me give you our YouTube channel. We are on YouTube, so subscribe to our YouTube channel. Anytime that we upload some on YouTube, if you subscribe to it, then you'll get the alert. So you'll be in the know with what's happening in the Atlanta real estate market from the horse's mouth, from Trish Sales ATL herself. And of course, we do research, we look at data, we look at strategies, we look at resources. That's what we do to help you guys. So I would say subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have our weekly mortgage update. We might have a special guest. I'm not sure yet. I haven't received a response yet. But our weekly mortgage update is for Masters Home Mortgages. This is a mortgage brokerage. And so, of course, there are more products, more opportunities for people who, even if you're self-employed, you may be having, you just may have a special circumstance. We work with a mortgage brokerage to assist you and give you better opportunities for purchasing a home. And that is just one of our 7 lenders that we use. And so I feature different lenders. A couple of weeks ago, it was Movement Mortgage. And so that's one of our lender partners as well, Movement Mortgage. Moselle Brick, shout out to her. Shout out to Masters Home Mortgage. as we continue to assist the people and just give them available opportunities. Thank you guys so much. And if this is your first time on our Facebook page, please like our page. So that way you are getting the updates, you're getting the alerts, you're getting the notifications, you're in the know, you know exactly what's going on when it comes to this crazy ATL real estate market. So moving on, find out the value of your home. Sellers. Hello. If you are thinking about selling your home, I need you to give me a call. My telephone number, you can actually call or text me. Of course, don't call me now because I'm on the live. So if you could please just send me a side text, it would be greatly appreciated. And when you send that side text about possibly putting your home on the market, please also send your current address so that you can take advantage of your free market valuation that I give when I began to have a conversation with you about possibly putting your home on the market. You can call or text me at 404-819-4495, 404-819-4495. Hey, we're not economists, but we understand the whole adage of supply and demand, and homes are in great demand right now. So sellers, and more sellers, it would be advantageous to you to go ahead and put your home on the market and get top dollar for it. As I said before, we have homes that hit coming soon, and they're getting over 100 offers for those homes. And so if you have been thinking about it, you've been on the fence, let's talk. Call or text me 404-819-4495. Please include your name, I have your telephone number, your email address, and your home address so that you can take advantage of the free market valuation that I am going to give you and we are going to discuss. And let me, before I go on, just tell everyone, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you to my clients who have been riding with me, y'all, for like 13 years, for 10 years, like all the years. Even if you're a brand new client, you send me referrals, you're riding with me, you are recommending me to your mama, sister, auntie, church member, co-worker, everybody, just thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for, just being here. Thank you for even sharing my lives, sharing my posts. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing. I truly, 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 truly appreciate you guys. So I just wanted to say that thank you. Thank you so much. What is a blind offer, y'all? Now, this is for the buyers. And I chose this because this is exactly the type of market that we're in now. When you have a home that comes on the market, and this is typically how it works. The home comes on the market, right? It comes on the market. The house may have been on the market for 1 hour, 2 hours, and it already has offers. Now, we know the open house isn't until Saturday, and from the listing remarks, it says that there are no showings until Saturday. So how does this house have 10 offers already? Well, it is because the buyer has placed a blind offer, which means when a buyer makes an offer on a property they have not seen, even when it was possible to see it, that offer is considered a blind offer. Now, coming soon status is not possible to see it, but if the house was listed on Friday, but the open house isn't until Saturday, it was a possibility that it could be seen, even though the listing agent has given us these directives. Things have gotten just a little hectic here lately with this current market. So this is what the blind offer is. And so if you're working with an agent, or if you're working with me, sometimes because of time, it may be your schedule. You may work, during the day and you don't get off until 7 o'clock and the lockbox clicks off at 8 o'clock and it takes you an hour to get to the house. So that means you can't see it. So your only off day is on Monday and they're not taking any more offers after Sunday. So in this case, you would place a blind offer so that you could be considered for the home. Yes, it's like unseen, Trish. I haven't even seen it. How can I place an offer on it? Well, we have the stats and the data to show you what type of offer you should put on it, right? What type of offer you should put on it. I'm sorry, somebody's calling me during my live. It's my daughter. Hey, daughter. She's calling me. Send her a quick text and tell her that her mom is on a live. But you're trying to figure out how can you make an offer on this property site on a site unseen. So with that being said, what happens is when this occurs, you do have an opportunity if you finally go into the house and let's say you don't like it. Hey, no feelings, Nat. Girl, I'm praying for you, especially this week. My thoughts and prayers are with you. That's one of my past clients, y'all. And so we become like family. So, you know, we together through the success and through the struggles of life. But when you're doing this blind offer, you do have an opportunity to terminate it or rescind your offer. And that can be done. So during your due diligence period, I understand that some sellers are wanting to relinquish things like due diligence periods. I vehemently am against it. And Georgia is a buyer beware state. And so it would be advantageous to every buyer to have a due diligence / inspection period. I know that some of these sellers are making that a condition of your offer, but the law in Georgia is, Georgia is a buyer beware state. And so just because you have an inspection, let's say the house is being sold as is, just because you're having an inspection done doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to ask for repairs. This inspection is going to arm you with the knowledge necessary to know what is going on with the house. And so if there is, an issue with the house and it's a major issue and an issue that you may not be willing to pay for, that's why it's advantageous to have a due diligence period, because once you get that report, you can move forward and say, oh, it's just, the blinds. We got to buy new blinds for the whole house. I'm fine with that. But if it's a huge issue like mold or mildew and you haven't had the home inspected, and that's something that you don't want to pay for, mold remediation, which is extremely expensive, then you may want to rescind that contract or terminate it because you don't want to put forth, the time and the funds to do that. And so when you relinquish your due diligence period, this is what you do. So you're basically buying a house as is for real, and then you don't have recourse as far as pulling out of your contract. So that is what a blind offer is, and just a little bit about the due diligence period and what some sellers have been requesting. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. Buyers having a tough time getting under contract. We have options for you. So we talked about this a great deal on last week. So I will go over it briefly. If you want to dig into each one, then go back and watch the replay from last week. If you go to our YouTube channel, or you can go to our Facebook page, and it's going to tell, if you go to the page, the live that was posted last week, it'll give you like the whole walkthrough of each program. And so the very first one is Ribbon. Ribbon is only for buyers who have a pre-approval letter in hand. So that means that you've been pre-approved with your lender. And let's say you may be FHA. You've been pre-approved, but you're FHA. So it's very complicated with getting a FHA loan client under contract. And so what Ribbon does is they come in and they basically put up the cash. They consult with your lender to make sure that you can, purchase this home. So when they consult with your lender's going to say yay because you've been doing everything you're supposed to do. So they purchase the home for you. If you're FHA, you cannot buy the home back immediately because there is a 90-day rule that states that when the home has just been purchased, it's a 90-day waiting or cooling off period. So you can purchase the home on the 91st day. Okay, Trish, then what happened after they bought this home? Well, you have to rent the house from Ribbon for 3 months so that you can get through that 90-day period. And on the 91st day, you're still mortgage eligible, you can purchase the home. If you're a conventional client, Ribbon would buy the home. So you'll basically have a double closing. So Ribbon would buy the home and then you would buy it right back from them. And it's a 1% fee. Okay. 1% fee for FHA too. It's a 1% fee. Okay. Then if you're, with any other loan products, it's a 1% fee. So that's how we have programs to assist you, because honestly, in this market, sellers are looking for cash offers. I mean, some of them are not. It depends on the circumstance of the house, if they still have tenants in it. Like, it's just a lot of moving parts, right? So as your advisor, as your negotiator, as your expert facilitator, when I look at your situation, that's what I'm looking at. Which program could best serve you? Now, it's up to you to go with that advice. I can't make you do it. I can give you my professional recommendation. At that point, it is on you to make the decision, because we're all about accountability. I done got you to the water. Now you got to drink. And then you have to trust me. I've been in this business long enough to know that this is a market that we have not seen before. I hear people saying, oh, my friend said they bought a house with this person. My friend, my cousin bought a house 5 years ago and they didn't have to go through this. They did not purchase a home in this current market, y'all. So I know that our loved ones, they love to give us advice. They love to tell us our experiences, but you got to be in the trenches and be walking in our shoes right now to understand the type of market that we're in. So just wanted to throw that in there. That's ribbon. That's only for pre-approved. You already have had to been pre-approved with a lender for ribbon. For Divi and Home Partners of America, I'm gonna kind of place them together because they're one of the same. They are lease purchase programs. Okay. You can use Divi as well if you've already been pre-approved, but that same rule for FHA, it still applies. You know, you won't be able to buy it right back. Some people like Divi because as a part of the rental part of it, Divi takes a portion of the money that you're paying in rent and put it towards your closing costs. And put it towards your closing costs for the home. So, you know, people like the fact that they get a little bit of money back with Divi. And so, you know, it's a great program. I've closed with Divi. I've closed with Home Partners of America. Divi requires a 550 FICO. Home Partners of America, they actually require a 580. So if you have a 550 up to 5 through a 580, you have 6 months of stable employment. You have 50%. That's your max for your debt to ratio income. No evictions in the previous year, no bankruptcies, and definitely no open bankruptcies. You can take advantage of the Divi programs if you want to be in a house, but you can't get pre-approved and you want to do lease purchase. These are the 2 approved programs that I recommend. And if you do, you know, want to use them just to buy the house cash and then rebuy it back from them, you can do that as well. But for my pre-approved buyers, I really recommend Ribbon instead of Divi and Home Partners. Home Partners is designed to give you time to get your credit in order, to get you living in the house that you want to be in, but to get your credit and stuff in order to purchase the home. And so if you're already locked and loaded and ready, Ribbon is the way to go. But if you need some more time, Divi and Home Partners of America are the way to go. So we got that out of the way. That's Home Partners of America. I posted this too as a part of the home buying process. This is it in a nutshell and it looks like a Monopoly board. And so I'm sorry, Instagram, y'all can't see this, but they can see it on Facebook because I'm sharing my screen. One day, I guess my stream will be able to come to my Instagram account too. I'm sorry, y'all. But for the home buyer process, it's pre-approval, find a home, make an offer, application process, contract clauses, inspections and appraisals, process and appraisal report, underwriting, commitment, title report, homeowner's insurance policy, clear to close, final walkthrough, closing, welcome home, and then post-closing. So if any of you guys want a copy of this home buying process chart, I need you to send me an email to info@TrishsSalesATL, and I'll put it on the screen. IG is info, INFO @TrishsSalesATL. Please email me and I'll be more than happy to send you the home buying process Monopoly board that I have just as an added resource to assist you. And I'll drop it in the chat as well. Just a resource to assist you about, what to expect. A lot of people, if you're a first-time home buyer, you really don't know what to expect when it comes to, the real estate market or what's going to happen. The longest part right now is finding a home and making an offer. Finding a home and making an offer because we're not economists, but we know the demand for homes is greater than the supply. So with that being said, we have to keep going at it. But that's why those previous resources that I was telling you guys about, that's what's going to kind of get you in, especially if you have a home that has multiple offers. The name of the game in this current real estate market is multiple offer situation. And so the two resources that I spoke about previously, which were Ribbon for my pre-approved buyers, and then for my lease purchase clients, Divi and Home Partners of America. That is what's going to get your offer in front of the seller, depending on the circumstance. When you send me a home, I talk to the listing agent. Hey, what is the seller looking for? What is the winning offer? And so from that, I communicate to you what the seller is asking for, and then what would be my recommendation concerning this home. So from that, you can take that information and listen, or you can say, Trish, let's keep looking. But I can tell you that it's not going to get easier until we have more supply. So if you see a house and you love it and you're ready to make a move on it, y'all make that move, but make the right move and make your next move your best move. Don't hesitate. Don't say, well, I don't know about. Listen, this is the way, the truth, and the life. Okay. The only homes that are plentiful right now are condos. And let me tell you why the condos are plentiful right now. Condos have rental restrictions. So what that means is you have to be an owner occupant to live in the condos. So investors can't run to the condos and snatch those up because they can't get through the HOA. So with that being said, Lawrence, you came in right on time. With that being said, I have one of my lenders who is going to be coming online talking to us about a condo loan. But right now, as far as supply and demand, condos are the only thing that are plentiful. I've seen them as cheap as $120,000. Now, it's going to be, small with square footage and all of that. But if it's just you, if you're just looking for somewhere to live, I have a condo in Buckhead under contract for $150,000, y'all. That's unheard of. Now, the HOA, is it astronomical? Well, my buyer felt like this. He said, well, I paid this amount for utilities and I have to pay the HOA this amount for concierge and all my utilities. The only thing I have to do is get cable. I think I'm going to take it. So with that type of thinking, he's going to purchase his condo. Now, in the future, if he wants to buy a home, he can put this condo on the wait list because when you have rental restrictions, you have a certain percentage of condos that can be rented out. So while he's living in it, he can put his condo on the waiting list so that it can be rented. So then once it comes up on the waiting list, guess what? He can rent it out, and now it's an investment. It's income producing property, and the market has slowed down by this time, right? And then he could go purchase the house that he wants. So you guys, I am giving you all strategies. I'm giving you resources. I just need you to take advantage of them and keep your mind open when it comes to the current market, especially if you're trying to purchase in this current market, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Lawrence Martin. He is one of my lenders that I absolutely enjoy doing business with. Lawrence, tell the people hello, they can see you.
How you doing? How's everyone doing?
Yeah.
Can everybody hear me okay?
All is well on this end, but I was just about condos, and I know you have a great condo loan, so tell the people a little bit more about it.
All right, so let's just go ahead and give them a little bit of a backdrop of what they're going into, what they're getting into when they buy a condo. Condo is essentially a shared community, and a lot of the condos will have what they call a condo association. And the condo association is set up really to to protect this shared community so that there's no legal liabilities, there's crime, anything that has to do with the tenants. They're going to protect the tenants. They're going to protect the overall property. So with that being said, when it comes to buying a condo, you have to take in consideration that you're going into a shared community. That lender has to process everything that goes on into that shared community. So the condo typically will have like an application for anyone who is applying, and you have to actually pass that. Now, we say this, all condo associations are not created equal, but they do have some of the same principles that they use as far as it relates to getting people into their condo association. So the first thing, one of the first things is, what type of loan are you going to get approved for that condo? That's the main question. And some people will actually, some condo associations will actually accept the FHA, some will accept the VA. So we have a bit of a tug of war with condos. Some lenders will not accept the condo, and some condos will not accept certain loans from the lender. It really depends. So in order to get around it, in principle, we have to go with a basic conventional loan, and you have to get approved with that condo association. Okay. Am I on track? Is everybody following me where I'm going with this?
And I'm taking notes and putting them in the chat, guys.
All right, good deal, good deal. So basically, I want you guys to think about the condo as a shared community. So you're not buying a single family residence, you're buying into a shared community that's attached to other condos. And the way it works out, the condo has to also have what we call a master policy for the entire condo complex. All right, so they have to make sure that that's protected against liabilities, against lawsuits. Lenders will actually check to see if this condo is under any type of liens, any type of lawsuits, and it'll hold up the process. If they have title issues, it'll hold up the process. So this is the reason why condos are so unique in the lending world. There's a little bit more process to it. It's not just as simple as you see a home, it gets appraised. The entire appraisal process is different, as it relates to what the appraiser looks for. If there are no units that are selling for the sales price that someone puts their condo on the market for, then that's going to be an issue for the appraiser because they don't have anything to go by. And they can't go by the condo association down the street because that's irrelevant to that particular condo association. So in most cases, they're going to go by the sales comps of the condos in that unit, to be fair. All right. So so as it relates to the lending world, you really want to go with a clean conventional loan to get approved. I typically don't like to push through FHA or VA with condos. You can, but the reality is the condo association, you may have a hiccup with the condo association accepting a certain amount of FHA loans or VA loans. And you'll notice, like if you have an FHA, and I know a lot of people, they're more so going to be approved for FHA because it's a lower barrier to entry. But in reality, if you are trying to find a condo, you want to get approved conventional first.
Yes.
You want to get approved first. And that lender actually has to approve that condo association because they'll look at the budget of the condo. They'll look at if the condo association has debts or if they can actually, if they're being managed properly. Because you got to think the lenders are not going to lend on property that's going to be a liability down the road or some type of liability down the road. So keep that in mind. So when we talk about condos, we got to look at the condo itself. If it's basically a hole in the wall and there are certain units there that are not sufficient to live in, they're going to look at all of that. So when you consider condo, you actually have to consider all of these things. Will this building be sufficient for the lender to lend?
Absolutely.
So the main thing is, you think about a condo, you think about the entire unit, the area, right? The shared community. the lender is responsible for the condo unit that you're living in, right? And also, if something happens to the overall unit, let's say if there's an earthquake or a hurricane, then you're a part of that unit. So that this is the reason why they check all the budgets, they check the master policy of the condo to make sure that it'll be sufficient to lend on. So that this is the main thing with condos, and you really want to make sure that you check up front if you can get approved for what are their stipulations, what are their criteria. You really want to check up front and see, you know, especially if you're looking to use that as a rental or Airbnb. You want to see some condo associations don't allow, you know, like long short-term rentals for their association to, and as a way of protecting their clients, basically for primary residences.
Lawrence, that's what I was just telling them. That's the reason why a lot of condos right now are plentiful or in abundance, because they have those HOA restrictions because of that very thing. And it's designed to protect you, and that it's like only a certain percentage that can be leased out. And so if you say I'm going to be here temporary and eventually get onto the rental list, you know, it's still an investment to be in a shared community, especially in certain areas, because it's gonna bring you, you know, maximum revenue when it comes to, you know, an investment.
Yes, exactly. So just keeping that in mind, I think the most important thing is people understanding the condos, the differences between a condo and a single family home. You're going into a shared community, and you have to keep that at the top of mind. So when you are trying to get financing for that, you know, you really want to make sure that you go conventional. There's not a lot of red flags, red tape to go conventional. You just basically got to get approved conventional. All right. And once you get the approval conventional, the lender would actually look at the condo association to see if they will be a viable option for them to lend on, not just you, but lend on the shared community that you're pursuing. Okay.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I would say in this market anyway, conventional is the best route to go. We're closing, and we have an average 15 clear to close ratio as of right now. You know, FHA and VA, we're moving along, you know, a little bit. It takes a little bit longer due to the fact that there's a little bit more paperwork to go through with the government loans. But as it relates to, like, you know, just basically setting up, you know, a home loan and getting you guys approved, conventional is the best route to go. Even with some of the down payment assistance programs, they're taking a little longer as well. So you want to make sure that, number one, in this market, you're getting your offers accepted. Because it doesn't matter if you're approved for $1 million and you got, you know, 20% down. It really doesn't matter. If your offer doesn't get accepted, it's irrelevant. So getting your offer accepted is the most important thing. And then when you go conventional, you look a little bit more attractive than someone that's going FHA or even VA, you know?
Yes, that's the point that, you know, I have been honing down. So we have a question, Lawrence, and I will put it up on the screen. Patrick Thomas.
I see it. Patrick Thomas. He says, what are the most important qualifications for a conventional loan? That's a good question. And one of the most important aspects of a conventional loan is the credit report, because we run it through an automated system, and the automated system is very sensitive to negative items on the credit report. You don't want to have like disputed items or accounts that are in dispute on the credit report when you're submitting on a conventional. You want to make sure that your credit report is clean as possible. I would go and buy for a 700 credit score if possible. The minimum credit score for a conventional is 620. Most lenders will go with the 640 credit score, but it is advised to really, I would say your minimum should be a 680 due to the fact that the mortgage insurance will be a little higher, anything less than 680. So in reality, the credit report and the credit score are going to be the most important things as you try to submit for a conventional loan. That's number one. And then on conventional, for first-time home buyers, you can pull as little as 3% down, which is a lot better than FHA actually, because you don't have the mortgage and you don't have the upfront mortgage insurance on it, and you're putting down less than 3.5. That's a huge savings, especially when you get into the price range of over $300,000. So the credit report, and also, if you bought a home before, you've been not a first time home buyer, you would have to put down 5% at that point. But the mortgage insurance, if you're over 700, the mortgage insurance is really good on the conventional loan. All right. But yeah, the main thing is really making sure you have a good credit score and a clean credit report. Don't have any items in dispute. Make sure that if you do have like collections, make sure you settle those, or if they're under $1,000, don't try to go and dispute them or anything like that. If you're really concerned about it, just go ahead and settle and do what we call a pay for deletion just to get them off. But other than that, yeah, the conventional is really heavy on the credit report. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that question. I have learned this information on the screen, and I also put it in the chat. So if you want to reach out to him, the information is in the chat and it's on the screen. I guess we'll be bold, and if you want to put your information out there for people to write down in case they just be listening but not watching. Patrick,
absolutely. So you can reach me at 407-443-7550. That is my direct contact. It's 407-443-7550. Send me an email at lmartin@nexamortgage, NEXAMORTGAGE.com. That's lmartin@nexamortgage.com. So you guys hit me up. Feel free to ask questions. We're definitely here to educate and make sure that you guys have the proper information. So
this is so true. And I got his number posted up. I'm getting ready to put your email address posted up. I'm happy to hear that you're having, 15 closings, at least 15 closings a month, because the way that the offers have been in this market.
Oh yeah, it's been tough. And I will tell you this, like everything that I'm closing, that's one thing, but I'm still getting contracts that are having issues with appraisals, having issues with other things going on in the file.
Let's talk about this appraisal gap that all the sellers are asking the buyers to pay. Like, tell them what that means when there's an appraisal gap.
So when there's an appraisal gap, you have two numbers that we look at actually three. I'm gonna give you. One, sales price. That's what the seller's asking for. Two is the appraised price. That's what the appraised value is. We actually go and get a third party to appraise the home, right? For what the market is saying, what the appraisal market is saying is worth, okay? Based on sales comps in that area. And then you have the loan amount. So the loan amount is always going to be based on the appraised value, not the sales price, okay? So if there's a gap, let's just say for the sales price is $100,000, just to keep it simple, and the home appraised for $80,000. That's a $20,000 gap. But let's just say on a conventional loan, you're putting 3% down. You still have to put down a 3% on an 80%, on an $80,000, and then come up with another $20,000 to pretty much bridge the gap between that $20,000 that did not appraise, because the lender is not going to go by the sales price. They're going to go by the appraisal price, the appraised value. So that's the reason why these gaps are so important, especially on like numbers. I just did a condo. It was like over $100,000 less than the sales price. It appraised for 100, and they're still fighting for it. But we did the reconsideration.
Wow.
But there are no units within the last 6 months that are valued or sold at that price. So they're not going to get that. They're not going to get that property appraised higher in that reconsideration. It's just not going to happen because there's no evidence of any condos in that area that have sold for that price. So so we have to be very careful with, especially in this market. But here's the crazy thing: the buyers are still willing to pay the price for it. They
Woo, so
don't
they're
find
gonna
the
pay the
property
100,000?
because they're looking at the area. This is a area like where tourism is down in Fort Myers.
Okay.
So they're really looking at like what's going on in the market, what's going to continue to happen. They're looking at trend. It's kind of like the stock market where they're
Yeah.
going to ride it up.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, I mean, based on some of the numbers in 2006, 2008, some of the same trends that's going on. The only difference is some of these appraisers are not allowing this to happen like it did in the
That
2006 era.
is key, Lawrence. I'm glad
Mhm.
you brought that up. That is key because the banks kind of got in trouble, and a lot of people felt like, the banks got bailed out. The appraisers are the buffers who are saying,
Right,
hey, we're not going to let this whole collapse thing happen again. So
right,
I know, people get upset. I had one to come back, an appraisal to come back. We were under contract for 160. It came back for 134. But
wow,
my seller was gracious to say, you know what? Appraised value it is. All
yeah.
sellers are not like that. All sellers are not created equal, y'all.
No,
But
no, they're not.
in that instance, and that's not my first one. I've tried to fight an appraiser, an appraisal. I was unsuccessful, but I
Yeah,
ended up selling another home in that same community, and we got the value of it, and it was higher than the one I previous sold. But that's because we
yeah,
had comps to justify it, and then they
right,
used grade A, B, C, D, all of that. Like I went through my whole appraisal course
uh-huh,
with dealing with that issue. But if buyers, consumers, if you don't have that money it's different when you have the money in the bank and you can say I can stand for it, like your client, or you
right,
may have a client that say I'm barely making my down payment and closing costs, I'm just trying to get through the deal. So
right,
that's appraisal gaps, and you have to be careful with the multiple offers, the highest and best
yes,
offers. Like you got to be so careful with that, because that's when that appraisal gap can kind of go awry if
yep,
you're not careful with looking at it. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that oof.
yeah, absolutely,
But the
absolutely.
appraisers are the buffers. They're saying
Yeah,
we're not doing that again. We're not having, I got my license in 2008. So I was on the
right,
back end of REOs and fixes and flips and all that stuff. So
uh-huh,
it was ideal for investors to build their portfolios, but it wasn't ideal for, if somebody wants to come to the table and pay the extra money, hey, have at it,
yeah,
but just looking at consumers as a whole, I see people that they got their 401ks on board, they got all their life savings on board. So it's a lot when it comes to this market. But I tell people, pay for what you want. If that's the house that you want, Trish doesn't have to live in it.
that's right, that's
Lawrence doesn't
right,
have to live in it. So if
that's
that's the
right.
house that you want, hey, have at it. I'm gonna help you get there. But
Yep,
if it's like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, you just gotta kind of look at that. And Lawrence, at the beginning of my live, I was talking about the different resources that we have that work in conjunction with you guys to just kind
yeah,
of help people along in this market. And surprisingly, what I have noticed just with me doing the research and looking at the trends, it's cheaper to kind of deal with some of these and hedge funds and investors that will pay cash for it, and then you pay a 1% fee. That's cheaper than going $30,000 or $100,000 over for an appraisal
right.
gap. You see what I'm saying? And
True.
so,
Yeah.
I just try to bring people, just the resources so that we can
Yep.
all this work, because we do not want a repeat of 2008.
Yeah.
So what do you
Yeah.
think about when we're going to get some more supply? Because the demand is great. I'm like, woo! What?
Well, on the
Okay.
other side of supply, the only other option would be to build more homes, which they are doing. However, the building supplies have went up.
Oh yes, they
So
went.
now some of these builders are backed up because the price of lumber has went up. So
I have
we're
one.
seeing, yeah, we're seeing now where builders are just backed up from
Yes,
building. We've never seen this before. I
ever.
don't I
I
don't think the
have one in
population is going to
Covington.
decrease.
I have
People
one.
are living longer, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yes.
it for people to wait on some type of housing bubble, they don't really understand the totality of what's happening and what's going on
Yes.
to create that. So the data from, let's just say the data from when most people buy their homes, it's say around 30, 33, 35, that's where people really start buying. That's where they're setting their careers, their family is expanding. They may be buying a second home. But most people are going to buy a home or a second home, in between that 30 to 35 range. Now, in 2006, in 2005 to 2008, what happened, you got to think about what happened 30 years prior to that, where these 35-year-olds wasn't buying homes. Well, in 1973, there was the abortion law was passed. So there was a gap in that generation where that it wasn't as populated as the baby boomers. So that generation, when they turned 35, there wasn't a whole lot of them. So that was the number one key factor to the housing crash. It wasn't the other things, right? Because if there were just maybe a few more percentage of buyers buying homes at that time, we wouldn't have had a housing crash. Because it wasn't like all the houses just were vacant, and no, it was just enough to have a housing crash. But now we're in a market now where if you're not ready to buy, we got a backup.
That's right.
If you lose your house, we got 10 people waiting to get in.
Yes.
That's not the same. It's definitely not the same market.
It's not. It's not the same market. The only difference I think too is the moratorium, as far as the landlords not being able to kind of kick tenants out. And once that's lifted in September, I'm thinking that those landlords who may have been investors, now that they can, kind of get them out, that they will sell. And so that's going to give us a little bit more supply too, depending on the condition.
It will. That is a fact. That is a fact. And that's a first-hand fact for me, because I had a rental that I'm now selling. It's on the market now.
Wow.
And I say, you know what? I'm going to try to get the highest and best offer, just like everybody else. Might as well. So, and put my money in other places. But yeah, that is so true when it comes to investors and how they think. Like, you may be sitting on a property saying, I will never sell this house. And then all of a sudden, the pandemic happens. You're not collecting any money. It's like, why am I dealing with this headache? Let me just get rid of it and get my money cash out, especially if the price is right. So we have that
collected rent. And how long since COVID happened, since they put the moratorium in place? They haven't received any. So they're the ones that they don't have the issues like they got to find somewhere else to move. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that going on. So
right. So So in reality, that's gonna help out a little bit as far as inventory, but when it comes to more buyers, I think too, we've seen, if you notice, like we've seen a lot of credit repair, a lot of people helping out with homes, the home buying process. And we've never seen that before. Like people are actually getting help with their credit. People
I have a credit specialist on my team.
Because think about, I would be straight with you. 15 years ago, I didn't know too much about credit. I had good credit, but I didn't know too much about it. And now I know enough. I actually wrote a book on it. So it's definitely a change in like the information age, because 20 years ago, you weren't able to go online and see your credit score, right?
Wow.
Right now, you can see the actual scores that mortgage lenders use if you go to myfico.com, right? So now it's all about the right information, because the information is out there. But at bare minimum, you can go to Credit Karma and see what an ideal score would be, get an idea. But the point is, people are working on their credit. So you have buyers that are in the pipeline waiting on their credit scores to go up. And what's going to happen when that? Because before then, you got to know the math on it. Only out of 100% of the people that pursue home ownership, only 20% are going to close on a home. Right? The other 80% probably got bad credit. They probably haven't saved enough money. Those are the two categories.
Two factors.
Like we're going to put them in, right?
Yep.
You know, and if they've had some type of housing event or something like that, then, you know, of course they got to wait on that. But when it comes to those two categories, what happens when people start getting their stimulus money, their tax money, their credit scores are going up? Now they're ready to buy. They were people that were on the fence. Now they're ready to buy, right? I mean, you got to think a 30-year-old 10 years ago was 20 years old. They weren't thinking about buying a house.
Right.
What happens in 10 years from now when the 20-year-olds now become 30-year-olds?
Listen, my son is 18. I'm already putting him up on game.
Got to. 10 years go by quick.
Yes. Like he knows how this thing works. You know, we're not renting. You know, that's something that, you know, as you continue to pass this down, like you said, for generations, because things change. And so because they are seeing this type of market, they're hearing people talk about it. You know, they're hearing it in their classes. He started college and high school as dual enroll. So he was hearing about these things in economics. And so he understands, you know, hey, you know, I got to keep my credit, whereas, like you said, I was really oblivious to credit and all of that. When I went into college, I wasn't thinking about that. You know, we lived in my grandparents' house. So, you know, I wasn't
going to know.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, I got somewhere to live. You know, I didn't think about how did this place get here? What do I need to do? But see, now because I am a realtor and I have those open conversations with my children, and then, like I said, my son had the benefit of being dual enroll, and he took economics, and so they started breaking that thing down, and so he has, you know, the knowledge, and then the news, because they have to do like current events and all that stuff. So he has, you know, the knowledge of like, and how this looks with the stock market and all of that. And he loves math, but he's going towards engineering, but he's a math whiz.
That's awesome.
But, I just think the conversation is a lot different than, you know, I'm not sure how old you are, but I'm still in the grand 30s.
I'm 41.
Look, but 40s knocking at my door hard. They like this. Boom, 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 boom.
Listen, 5 years ago, I didn't see anybody on my timeline talking about stocks.
Woo, say it again.
Now everybody's talking about stocks. Everybody's talking about
Bitcoin.
Like, when now it has become a mainstream thing now.
Yes,
like,
it has.
More people, and it's going to get better. More people are talking about Forex. You know, they even try to recruit me into Forex.
Oh, if one more person tries to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And listen, funny story. When I was in high school, I was in this program called the Maynard Jackson Youth Foundation, named for our former and late first African-American mayor of Atlanta. And so he was teaching us, we were reading the stocks from the Atlanta Journal and Constitution newspaper. And then we would get the Wall Street Journal, but he was teaching us how to read it like on paper, like now with us being able to go to E-Trade and all the other different sites, to be able to pull it up at our fingertips is just phenomenal. And as a kid, then of course that was my senior year in high school. So I had no idea what that would blossom into. So he was like so ahead of his time, but I'm grateful for that knowledge that, he instilled in us, in that leadership academy. I mean, it was just phenomenal. So now when I go to a stock, I do, because he embedded it in us, I know how to read, and I'm like, let me see if I should invest in this one or that one. So, we're in a whole different market, but it's a teachable market, and that's what, we have to, continue to focus on. And, the Trish Sales Atlanta mission is to make sure that, my buyers can make a informed decision, buyers, sellers, and even investors alike, an informed decision as I represent them in their real estate transaction. So I try to bring them the information. I try to bring them everything that comes along with it. So thank you so much today for just, being able to just give and pour out the information from your perspective. I think that's going to be very helpful with people trying to make decisions on how to move forward. And if y'all want to get his book, I got his email address up. It is lmartin, LMARTIN at nexamortgage.com. And that's N as in Nancy, EX, A as in Apple, M as in Mary, ORTG as in Gary, AGE as in Edward.com, Nexa Mortgage, but it is, and I'm saying this for Instagram because Instagram can't see our screen.
Yeah.
But on Facebook, you should be able to see it on the screen, in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, hey, hit them up, reach out to us. We'll love to give you the information that we have so that you can have a successful real estate transaction. So we're going to close out because we're about 3 minutes over our hour. I always tell them we'll be no shorter than 30 minutes, but no more than an hour. But you guys got some good information today. So if you need to reach Lawrence, I gave you his information. His telephone number directly is for Instagram 407-443-7550. Again, 407-443-7550. So we will wrap this thing up. Thank you so much for jumping on today. When I saw your post about the condo loans, I'm like, I've been telling people that if you want plentiful, you need to go get one of those condos. You know, I'm slick trying to figure out, do I give up almost 4,000 square feet for 18 to, 2,000 just for a time? You know, you have to make those decisions when you're trying to, make a potential investment, especially when it comes to area. So,
that's right. Absolutely.
So for jumping on, and we're going to close out, guys. See you later, Lawrence.
All right now. You have a great day.
Thank you. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you're watching a replay, y'all got a plethora of knowledge when it comes to just the loans and condo loans. If you guys are looking for a community expert and a realtor community expert, I was bred. I cannot say I was born in Atlanta, but I got here when I was 6 months. Atlanta is all that I know and surrounding. I went up to Athens to UGA to school. So Atlanta and in between surrounding. So if you want a community expert on your team, whether you're looking to purchase, sell, or invest, please give Trish Sales ATL a call. You can visit my website at trishsalesatl.com. My website is trishsalesatl.com. If you need to email us, you can email us at info@trishsalesatl.com. Email us at info@trishsalesatl.com. If you need to call or text me, you can call or text me at 404-819-4495, 404-819-4495. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and type in Trish Sales Atlanta, our YouTube channel will come up. If you subscribe to it, you will get our alerts. Follow us on Instagram. Thank you, Instagram, for keeping tuned in to us. Thank you to Price Sales Home, wanting the magnificent, impressive trips, for joining No Feelings Nat, who is a past client, for joining the live today on Instagram. I truly appreciate you guys. And we are on Twitter, and you can follow us at trishsalesatl.com. Thank you so much for tuning in on today. I will see you guys next week so that I can give you your next update concerning this real estate market. You all have a blessed and wonderful day. And thank you so much again. Don't forget to tag, to like, and to share. Have a beautiful day.
Whether you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home,
Trish Sales ATL can help.
with the current Atlanta real estate market, buyer and seller opportunities are better than ever.
Thank y'all so much, but I'll take it from here. Sellers, this is your market. It's time for you to get off of that fence and put your home on the market and get it sold to my buyers who are waiting for you to list your home. I'd love to earn your business, so please give Trish a call at Keller Williams Realty Buckhead, 404-604-3800,
or text or call 404-819-4495.
Please also visit my website at trishsalesatl.com. Let's talk about how I can assist you with achieving your real estate goals and making your dreams a reality.
List your house with our mommy at trishsalesatl.com.